Hello everybody, hope that you are well and welcome to today's cryptocurrency technical analysis, obviously in the form of a live stream with an extreme emergency for you. Obviously Bitcoin is breaking up right now as we are speaking, and the thought I think on a lot of people's minds right now is this a good time to short? Is this the rally that we should be shorting, looking for much lower prices? Or actually are we just going to continue to short squeeze upwards here? We are reaching some very important levels, primarily right now. Actually, we're just coming into the top of the CC, so we'll have to take a look at this, and of course I will give you my opinions. I'll give you the current trades I'm in and explain the thought process there. It's going to be a good one tonight. It really is. Of course, we got to put out the tweet, and as well, and I was always ask my champion members, hello. I will say, let's put out a lovely tweet, shall we? And I've got this one prepared, absolutely shaking with excitement, absolute shaking. So as I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to absolutely go and smash that retweet button right here, absolutely smash that retweet button, destroy the retweets, and let's get that shake for the Bitcoin charts underway. Thank you very much indeed. Your support is always appreciated. It really honestly is. So thank you ever so much. And there we go. That's an epic. That is an epic shaking gif, if I say so myself. But it is obviously right. We should be shaking with excitement right now, because where are we in the Bitcoin charts? You might be thinking, where are we right now in the Bitcoin charts? Well, if you have been paying attention, you gotta love that one. If you have been paying attention to the last, probably the last week of price action, we've been going over the current CC resistance that we are at, as well as yesterday I done a free public Twitch live stream. So that was obviously over on Twitch, yesterday's live stream, where I did say in that stream I am in no short positions, I only hold longs. And then this morning on Twitter I emphasized, this morning I am only in long positions. And then once again, over on the real, yes, this is the real Chart Champions Instagram account, also chilling with, look at this guy, still long from $30,000. That's 3,000% profit, thanks to the Chart Champions family. Also said, still long, CC pool, literally CC pool, and chill, still 4 hours ago. And obviously that was before this break to the upside. Now we've broken to the upside. Of course, I still stick with this. While I have this open, I will just tell you this very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the fact I only have one Instagram account, I only have one Twitter account, I only have one YouTube account, etc. People are falling for the scam of, chart champions where the O and the I are incorrectly spelled. I am not going to incorrectly spell a username. I only have one username. I only have one account, okay? And I'll put it in the comment section, so this is the legit right one, okay? So that's the real account. Do not fall for any scammers, because there are, oh my god, there's absolutely loads of scammers pretending to be chart champions, and they're all incorrectly spelt, okay? So just know I only have one account on every platform, and it's always going to be spelt right. Why on earth would I spell it wrong? It makes no sense. So yeah, that's something to remember. And yeah, so obviously this morning I was only long and chill. Am I still long and chill right now? That is the question on your mind. Okay, let's cover first the resistance. Yeah, the chat champions. Yeah, there's a chat champions. And they've literally nicked all my photos and everything. It's crazy. Anyway, we continue. So you can probably remember this one. Remember we were looking at the CC Fibonacci retracement? Okay, if you can't remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is really simply using the Fibonacci retracement from the 10th of May. Yeah, take it from the high on the 10th of May down to the low that we put in at 28,000 on the 22nd of June. Move that across and we can see right here very clearly, okay, we have literally just tapped into the top of the CC. So when we come down onto a 4-hour chart, you can see we obviously went hitting into the bottom of the CC, rejection, another attempt at the bottom of the CC, and a bit of a larger rejection to the downside. In the end, though, holding up the bottom of the range and another move to the upside. And you can see right now the absolute precision of the top of this CC, where we literally did hit it to the absolute dollar. That is absolute top dollar of the CC. So, I don't think anybody's surprised that these levels are always really well respected. You know, to be honest, they are. And that is the current resistance on the Bitcoin chart. And that's undeniable, as you just saw there. I mean, we're talking to the absolute dollar top of that CC level. So that is the first, and, you know, that's the first resistance that we just absolutely just have to be aware of. So I will always ask this question to you watching this video, whether you're, you know, whether you've been following us for years now, or whether you're, you know, here for the first time today. Answer this question for me. And that is now a good time to long? Yeah, think about that for 1 second. Yeah, think about that for 10 seconds. Do you think it is a good time to open a new long now? Think about that, and let's think of the answer. Well. I very much hope that you gave the right answer, and of course not. Isn't it, my friends watching this? I tell you this from the bottom of my heart. It is never a good time to long into a CC resistance. It's just not a good idea. Okay, we have to remember that we are trading high probability trades. You do not have a high probability trade longing into the CC. Okay, this is just a very not good idea. And let me just say hello. I just see this see it come out in the corner of my eye. You know, we just had a donation of 500. I don't know what this is, ZAR. And he says, CC champion member here. Just want to say thank you for all the amazing knowledge you are blessing us with. Also would like to add, when Daniel shakes, I shake. Hell Latinas. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. And that is the donation of the ZAR. I have to check this currency really quickly. You can tell I'm not a Forex trader. This is South African Rand. Thank you for those 500 South African Rands, my friends. And yeah, you're absolutely welcome. So of course, going back to where I was, is it a good time to long into the CC? No, of course, it's not a good time to long into this because you are literally longing into a resistance level. Let's just remind ourselves, does that mean it cannot go higher? Of course, price could go higher. So what I am not saying is price cannot just continue to go up. That is definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you want to get into sort of long positions, you have to think to yourself, longing is a much better idea at support. So you are much better to long when price is retracing to a support level where you have your confluence and high probability longs. What you have to think is, if you are longing now, yes, there is a probability that price can just continue upwards. Of course there are. Of course there is, sorry. But what you have to think is the probabilities are not in your favor when you are longing into such resistances. Okay, just have to always think in terms of probabilities. So your best long is always going to be a retracement. Never is it ever going to be when, you know, you're moving up into a resistance such as we are now. Thing to bear in mind that I will tell you right now, and that this might be a little bit too advanced for some people. Maybe it depends how long you've been trading. But what you have to remember is we will have a CME gap. Okay, so to track this, you can look at the Bitcoin futures. Okay, and that's BTC 1 exclamation mark. This is the CME futures market, and that obviously is going to close tonight in about 3 hours. Okay. In about 3 hours, this market will close. And what that will do is, when that market closes and during the rest of Friday night and Saturday and Sunday, until we get the CME open back up on Sunday evening, we will have a CME gap. I tell you this only something to be aware of. Just please do not forget that we will have that gap, because I would always say I do not trade primarily off of CME gaps, but it is always something to be aware of, because it has recently been very well respected. As you will know, last week we had the CME gap from closing up here. We opened down here, we rallied to fill the gap, and then obviously moved down again. So obviously we do not know yet where the CME gap will be. That will be dependent on Sunday. But should we move up, we'll obviously have a CME gap to the downside, and should we move down over the weekend, we'll obviously have a CME gap to the upside. This is just something we do not trade off of this, but this is something with 100% certainty we absolutely have to be aware of right now. Okay, it's just an absolute requirement, in my opinion. Okay. So yeah, that leaves us obviously then, as I said at the start of the video, I will tell you my current trading positions. So you might be thinking to yourself, Daniel, are you still in your longs? You know, obviously I'm saying I would not open a new long here. You know, I would not long where we are personally. Not financial advice, of course. If you want to do it, you can do it because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my opinions, and personally, I would not long here, but that does not mean I do not have longs open. So I currently still have my longs open, and these are obviously the long from $28,000 and the other long from $29,000. If you cannot remember how I managed to get that $29,000 long, this is the silver long open that I had from trade of the week. And we obviously never saw extreme weakness to the downside. So from that prediction, blah, 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 I still actually have that long open because there was absolutely no reason to close it. So I still hold that $28,000 long, still have my 29, still have a day trade open from when we reclaimed the daily. And so, yeah, those are the two positions that I still have. These are my two biggest positions that I still maintain open. And I will, shall I explain really quickly about this $28,000 long? I said, if you were in the Twitch live stream last night, again, that was just a free live stream that I done. If you were in that one, you will know I was saying about the importance of $28,000 when we had that low. And I will remind you of what that prediction and why the low was put in where it was put in. Okay, and then we'll move on to look. We can start to look at some of the order flow that's coming in here. Actually, before I move on to that, I would actually want to see this. So what we're going to have to be looking for here. Okay, so you see it's pretty nice actually. So you see, like when we were increasing here, really nice open interest increases. You see here the open interest is really, really healthy. So this is what we call healthy open interest, rises on open interest and declining here, obviously on declines on open interest. So the open interest is bullish. Okay, that is considered bullish, to be honest with you. Open interest, look at this, 36 million. Obviously, we saw 24 million shorts opening a little bit too early here. Another rise in price, but obviously this is your big decline here, and that was on 55 million negative delta. Volume, really, really, really good, to be honest with you. Look at this, 109 million, 148 million, 167 million, 313 million candle. That was on the break. Obviously coming down a little bit, putting the high there in 220 million. But then I kind of like to see these declines here. We need to zoom into a little bit of a lower time frame. Let's come to the 5-minute chart just to see if we have any divergences. So we don't have any bearish divergences, and we have a little bit of bullish divergences forming. So yeah, this is just something to be aware of. Yeah, pretty nice short there, to be fair. That was nearly 6 million negative delta. But I mean, you know, if you want to take a trade, you obviously have to short resistance, not long it. So these people, you know, look at this. So this is the absolute dollar high. And you had over 5 million. Over 5 million at market. Somebody has just gone market long, bam. 5 million at the absolute very high. Will already have retraced downwards. This person has longed and instantly lost probably about, you know, probably about $25,000. How much of a percentage retrace is this? This guy has easily lost instantly. Oops, I didn't try and click that. I just want to see how much this percentage is. Oh my, it's over 1%. This guy has easily lost over $50,000, nearly $60,000. That's absolutely insane, no? So this is what you have to think. This person that has FOMO'd 5 million into the absolute dollar high, within a minute has lost over $50,000. So you just have to think to yourself, at least you're not that guy. At least you're not that guy that's instantly lost $50,000. You know. That would kind of suck, wouldn't it? So, yeah, that's why you do not long into the exact CC. But that said, we have to say what we have going on here. And obviously this is considered, this is considered a pretty healthy retracement. No divergences, no bearish divergences on the retracement, which is nice. A little bit of bullish divergences. And obviously the open interest declines, they're also considered pretty bullish, to be fair. So yeah, there's no reason to be. I wouldn't say there's any need to be ultra bearish. I'm not sure if I answered that question. I still do have both of those longs open. Yeah, both of those longs are still open for me. I've not closed them. Oh, here we go. I didn't see. Want to celebrate with you, mates. Finally reached his goal of $100,000. I know it is not a lot to compare to other people, but I'm proud. Thank you all, especially our mentors. Daniel, Mike, and Victor. This is the right place to be. Looking forward. Most of my trades are still on spot, but this competition, obviously the World Series of Trading, will test me. Look at that. He has reached $100,000, 1.3 Bitcoin on one account, 0.7 on the other, equaling about just over 2 Bitcoin and $100,000. Look at that. Yesterday he made $1,200. That's not bad. $1,200 in a day, reaching $100,000. That is what I love to see. Well done, my friend. Absolutely well done. This is my favorite one. This has made me a bit too much money. 6,400%. So yeah, let's just, yeah, we obviously do have to keep our eye on this. So we are seeing about 4 million shorts open here. Pretty even then on this candle. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is necessarily too bearish at the moment. Just looking at the order flow here, we would not say this is necessarily bearish in my opinion. Not yet anyway. There's just no divergences, all declines in open interest. If you obviously understand what I'm talking about here, of course, if you have no idea what order flow is, you probably are like, what is this guy even on about? But if you've studied the modules, if you're a contender or champion, you should understand what I'm talking about here. And yeah, this, in my opinion, is not bearish from the volume side of aspect, okay? So we will obviously continue to monitor this. Should things change, I will have to start trading. I'm not going to lie, because I do not want to miss a trade here, even though I'm on live stream. So unless I see the signal to take one, though, I'm not going to do it. But so yeah, I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this for myself. And so you get the advantage of looking at that as well, I suppose. Where was I going though? Okay, so currently, yes, we are at the CC. We are at a resistance, but the open interest side of things, the volume side of things is looking pretty decent. Let's just say it's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. And I said yesterday during the Twitch live stream about that $28,000 low, and I said because a lot of people asked me, Daniel, why did you still hold that $28,000 long when price had already pumped and almost retraced down to stop you out? And I told everybody the answer of this is because of Igor. Igor was the reason I did not close that $28,000 long, because he had put in the low at that $28,000. Okay. And this is obviously his chart. So yeah, I've taken, this was obviously, he did post this in the Discord, and this was back in May, where he was obviously calling for the shorts from $60,000, and his target was here. You see, this is target 28,829. That's where he had the sell stops. So he obviously had the prediction from short $60,000 and take it to $28,800. So you asked me, why did I still keep that long open from 28,880? And the honest and sole reason for me maintaining that long was because of Igor's call of that was going to be the low. So yeah, everybody in Chart Champions literally loves this guy. Igor is an absolute legend. And I also salute you. Igor, I salute to you, my friend, because that was the sole reason for the maintaining of the $28,000 long. And obviously for the $29,000 long, that was from a Champions live stream where I literally gave this one on an absolute silver platter on a Sunday's live stream. And then I just obviously maintained that one open. So yeah, that brings us up to back where we are now then. So I mean, the most important thing for me right now is just monitor this order flow. Literally, this is the most important thing that we want to be doing. So look at this. We've seen another 5 million longs jump in here. It's actually shorts closing. But we just need to really keep our eye. I mean, the volume is pretty decent, isn't it? I mean, every single candle here is at least 5 mil, 10 mil. We just saw 25 million here. The volume is pretty nice. The volume is nice. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty content with how the volume looks. Okay, so I mean, this is good. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, if we are going to break up again here, if we are going to move again to the upside, well, then what we can do is actually so this is the way that you use your fibs. You would bring it from the last sort of major high to the last major low. And if you break through this, then we can put it to the all-time high. So this is the all-time high to the low. And you can see that that gives us a new gives us a new CC zone. And that's obviously from 51,000. You might just write down these levels. They're always good to have written down on a bit of paper. And I will actually make sure this is exact for you. So we'll put it exactly at the low. Let's just do this for you. I'll read out the exact digits you want to write down. And that is $51,137 of the low of the CC. And the top of the CC here is $52,660. So that gives you your next upper boundary of the CC Fibonacci retracement here. And again, always a level you have to be aware of. An extremely well-respected level. Sometimes, yes, it only gives smaller retracements, but you still have to remember this from the high of that retracement to the low of that retracement was still nearly 9% retracement. So you might not think it's anything, but I mean, you've seen it here. It gave a 9% retracement. We literally just touched it earlier today before the stream started, and we got over a 1% retracement. So whether you're there for the 1% scalp or you're there for the day trade, swing trade potential of the 10% move, definitely you have to be aware of those levels. And I think you can agree with me, no? You have to be aware of those levels. They are well respected. Of course, should we, what do we, well, I mean, the big one I think a lot of people are going to be looking at is $50,000. So obviously you have this 50K level here. And I will explain this very quickly. So $50,000. And what we can say is this is key. So this is our key. What we mean by this is just a very important level. Obviously, of course, of resistance at the moment. But the thing that I would bear in mind, there is a potential scenario here, and that is that a lot of people are like really. So I guess I should say I'm not really bearish, to be honest with you. I'm pretty bullish, to be honest with you. And so what I think though is a lot of people are going to be like really bearish, thinking like $50,000 is a really good short position. So what you just have to bear in mind is I obviously acknowledge this can reject here, and this is resistance. Obviously, it's not like I'm not saying this isn't resistance sort of thing. If we bring this down back to here, I acknowledge, this is resistance. And I am also saying I would never long here. But what I do have to think, and I think this is what really makes you a really good trader, and it's being able to like recognize what a lot of other traders are going to be thinking. Like I've said it before, like a lot of traders are just bad traders, to be honest with you. Like a lot of people get it wrong. The majority of traders lose money. So you don't really want to think like the majority, do you? You want to think outside of the box. You want to think like a champion, basically. And I have the thought process that a lot of people are going to be like thinking, oh, it's $50,000. Like this is a really good short position. So yeah, that obviously leads into a scenario of a big short squeeze. If you were trading in 2019, how many traders from 2019 are here? It doesn't seem like that long ago. But 2019, you had a really nice scenario where we had the rise here. And a lot of people back in May 2019 were really bearish at $6,000. Because obviously at 2018 you put in a massive descending triangle, and that triangle did break to the downside, but the floor of the descending triangle was $6,000. So a lot of people back in 2019, when we were rallying up, instead of trading with the trend that was there was a very bullish trend at the time. Instead of trading with the trend, a lot of people were like, hey, I'm just going to short $6,000 because what can go wrong? That is a massive level of resistance, isn't it? Well, the thing is, no. Well, I guess it kind of was a big resistance level, but also it just ended in a massive short squeeze because so many people started to short $6,000. Your larger traders can literally just short squeeze you straight through the level. So what you have to remember is there is the potential that it goes like $6,000. So we get a 2019 scenario where everybody's just like, hey, $50,000, this is a really good short, no? Just because it's $50,000 and you end up breaking the level. Yeah. So this is obviously does require a reaction. It's a reactionary trade, but I just think it's something very important to be aware of. I honestly do believe that's something very, very key to be aware of. And I will give you this bit of information. What does a short squeeze look like? So a lot of people are always wondering, what is it? What is a short squeeze? How does that work? Well, I'll try and explain this in 2 minutes. A short squeeze is essentially a lot of people, let's say, we all like this little comparison, don't we? The small fish of the world, with, let's say, anything below, let's just say anything below 10 Bitcoin. If you're trading below 10 Bitcoin, you're a very small fish in the market. And so you got all the small fishes that are like, hey, $50,000, this is a really good short position. And, they pile in with their shorts and, they're piling and piling and piling in shorts thinking, oh, this is a really good short position. And then you have your whales, your bigger traders that are trading with thousands of Bitcoin, recognize what the majority are thinking. And they're taking millions, obviously less than 10 Bitcoin or below. They could still be trading with, let's say, $1 million. But in the grand scheme of things, $1 million is really not a lot of money. And you have to think, if all the small fishes, and let's say there's let's just say there's, I don't know, you think of the number, let's just say there's a lot of small fishes and they all come together to generate, let's say, $2 billion worth of volume. You might think $2 billion of volume where all the small fishes come together and they take $2 billion as a collective in short positions. Still, $2 billion is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things in this market. Yeah, I mean, Bybit alone sees $5 billion plus on a daily basis. So with the 2 billion shorts, the larger traders are essentially squeezing them. So they recognize there is a lot of money and a lot of liquidity resting if they can essentially short those, squeeze those shorts. And as price pushes up through the level, they are getting either liquidated or they have to cover their shorts. And how do you cover a short? By buying back Bitcoin, which in turn pushes price up even more. So that is essentially a very brief description of a short squeeze, but I hope that you liked that. Hope you liked that short description of the short squeeze. If you did, absolutely smash that like button. You know what you want to do. If you want another descriptive description, then absolutely smash that like button as hard as you can. We currently have 1,000 likes with nearly 3,000 people watching. I think we can do a better job of that. So if you are watching this and you haven't already, absolutely destroy that like button. Copy the link of this video, share it with your friends, share it on YouTube, share it on Facebook, share it on an email to your family and friends and tell them this guy knows what he's on about. Take a listen to him. And here we go. Should we take another look at the order flow? Really not a lot going on. Really not too much happening here. A little bit of indecision, I suppose. There's a little bit of indecision. We've basically gone sideways for the past, 20 minutes here. Very, very, very little movement. But I think we can also appreciate why this is the case. So why is there a bit of indecision here? Well, obviously, there's a bit of indecision, I suppose, because we're at resistance. But, people like myself might be hesitant to take the short because we are essentially on a really nice rise to the upside. So I think people are hesitant to short this because there has been no real rejection yet. And I think also people are definitely hesitant to long because, I mean, if you long right now, you're literally longing into resistance. You have a lot of people that are just a little bit, I suppose, just hesitant. And that's not a bad thing. You have to remember, no trade is a trade in itself. I don't think there's any need to jump into a trade right now. I suppose that could bring me on to what could we look for next? Let's say you've missed it. Let's say you've missed this move and you're like, I really want to take a long, but I know I can't long here. But you can long here. You can do whatever you want, actually. Let's just think of it like this. You don't want to long here and you really want to get into the market. So what could you do to get into the market? Where could be a sensible level of retracement? I suppose that's what we'll cover next then, no? Does that sound good to you? We can shake a little bit more. We can absolutely shake. Oh, I'll cover that in a minute. Oh, and before I talk about that, I suppose I'll talk about this, the World Series of Trading. So give me 2 minutes to talk about the World Series of Trading because I want to talk about this for 2 minutes and then we will go on to the level of support that we could be looking at if we get our retracement to the downside and we actually do reject off the top of this CC Fibonacci level. Very important. So let's talk about the World Series of Trading. So my friends, World Series of Trading is obviously the new Bybit trading competition with a potential $6 million prize pool. This is obviously open for everybody, whether you are a free person just watching on YouTube, whether you're a contender or you're a champion. It is open for absolutely everybody. And what I will say is come over and join our team right now. Do it right now, because the thing is, we have 943 people in our team. And I would love to get that to 1,000, to be honest with you. Because if you see, this is the top 10 teams in the world. We got the Korean number 1, us number 2. You can probably recognize some of the top English teams. We're currently the number 1 English team. We got Cole the Moon in number 2, Jalapeno number 3, Crypto number 4, and Crypto Rover number 5, Team Underground number 6, La Red Team 7, don't know who these are, Pep Cup Army number 9. So we are number 1 literally right now in the whole of the English speaking team, and number 2 in the whole world. If we win this competition, we can be walking away with $6 million. The probability of us winning this is high, not only because we are amazing at trading, but also because we are literally having the numbers. And at the end of the day, this is falling into a bit of a numbers game. So trading is a numbers game. The more entries that we have, the higher the probability, because we have more traders. So what I will say is, if you have not already joined our team, the steps to join the team are very, 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 very simple. Create an account with the link. That link is in the Discord. So just join our Discord if you haven't already. Obviously, joining the Discord is free. Join the Discord, create a Bybit account, and fund the account. Here's the link. Some people are saying, here's the link. There is the link right there. I have posted that in as well. I have posted that in the YouTube chat. So yeah, click that link, create a Bybit account, and you are absolutely golden, my friends. Absolutely golden. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? I do not think so. Click the link, click join, create the account. This can just go. And of course, yeah, we got the 10% discount on fees with the referral. And you can obviously get your $200 extra bonus. The main thing is here, I want to see this get to 1,000 people, because that would just be truly epic for us. And let's see how many we get. 945. We'll check again in 20 minutes, let's say. See if we've reached 1,000 troops. 1,000 troops for the World Series of Trading. This is in a Bitcoin and Ethereum competition. $6 million. And yeah, I absolutely, of course, want to win that. So we'll see. With that said, we can get back to where we were. So as I was going to say, talking about the next level of support to the downside, should we reject off the top of this CC? Okay, let's take a quick drink and we'll get back to it. I've got a nice little bowl of fruit here, so I'm going to have a strawberry. I see a few questions here. I'll just take those really quickly. And that is, what will be our prize when we join your team and win? Basically, the prize pool is, the prize gets split between myself. It gets split between the top 10 members and then literally everybody else in the team. So, yeah, it's split. The actual breakdown of the prize pool split is on the Bybit website. Obviously, the majority goes to the top 10, because this is another thing. If you join the competition and you suck and you do really bad, that doesn't really matter to the team, because only the top 10 are taken into consideration for the overall P&L percentage of the team. Okay, so what I mean by this is, if you join and get liquidated or lose all your money sort of thing, of course it's bad for you, but for the overall team aspect, it doesn't matter, because only the top 10 are taken into consideration for the overall standings. So obviously the top 10 members get the majority split of the prize pool. That's kind of fair. But even if you finish let's say you finish 900th in our team and you're liquidated, well, the good thing is you're still going to get the prize money. Yeah, so you'll still get your percentage of the prize pool, even if you end up liquidated on your account and you lose everything. Well, the silver lining is if we win the competition, or even I think there's prize money for the top 10. So as long as we finish top 10 in the competition, yeah, you'll still get your prize money. So basically, I would say literally everybody can join the competition, whether you're really good, whether you're really bad. Yeah, just join the team. Let's get to 1,000 members, because that literally would be pretty epic. We will take the I can't remember what I was going to say then. Anyway, let's go. So I want to look at this. So yeah, we were going to talk about the retracement. Should we get a retracement here? So let's go down to like the 30-minute chart. Okay, so let's look at this sensibly. So we obviously had our old trading range, which was in the end between the daily and the 618. So what we can obviously do is pull our fixed range tool and look at the old range here. So we'll pull our old range. And obviously, yeah, so this was so important. Yeah, we obviously rejected originally here from the range point of control. Got our rejection, and then obviously later we've reclaimed it. So this really, I really truly believe that this is a major level of support here. If we pull our fibs from the overall low of that last range to the high, brings us up to around here. If we pull it from this low to this high, okay, so this also would be our CC retracement. So if we take it from the last impulse low to high, we actually have the CC retracement in the point of control. So this is considered a pretty decent level of support. The thing to bear in mind, I suppose, is if we get acceptance back into this value area, we could, of course, rotate all the way down to the lows. So this is your intermediate pit stop, I suppose. And so what you have to bear in mind, if we are coming down here, then what we have to think is this could just be a pit stop, essentially. So you would generally expect the bounce, but it could be a pit stop bounce that actually just ends up actually back down at the low of the range. Remember, this was our old range high. This was our old range low. So this is either a pit stop, essentially, for an ABC correction, or you get more strength and you actually put in a valid low there. The most important thing is to be aware that that is obviously a critical level of support. If we do rotate down to the low, that would look very weak. It would look like a big rejection from the CC. But nevertheless, this is obviously where you have to have your alerts set. So what you would do is click here, set alert. You'll be alerted if you come down to this. And again, there's no way to know whether that's a pit stop or whether it is a major low until, like you see, until you look at the volume that's coming in. Like, you have to just monitor the volume. Of course, it doesn't mean 100%, but you obviously increase your probabilities. If you can see people are actually jumping in at that level, then it's an important level of support. So that is the place that I would be personally most interested in. Should we reject from this CC? Well, look at that. Reject from the CC. I'd look down for this next CC. It's also the range point of control. Very, very, very important level. But of course, I do also acknowledge it could just give you the bounce into the range, back into the range low, which obviously brings you down to around. I've told you before, the big support is $43,000. So of course, it's quite a bit off where we are in here, but I still think you've got to be aware of it. We got our, I think, want to say critical support coming in at about 45,700, and then your last sort of support before things get really, really tumbling down. I really feel you tumble down very quickly, and that's $43,000. If $43,000 doesn't hold, yeah, I've said it before, I would expect below $40,000. But of course, we're not necessarily thinking of $39,000 yet, because we still have this major support. We still have $43,000 of support. So we do have two big levels of support. Those are the only two levels I would really be that interested in, to be honest with you. So yeah, I know some people are always like, oh, what about if it doesn't retrace? It doesn't retrace. It doesn't retrace. That's just part of the game. What I will tell you this, to maybe it will comfort you. You know, maybe it comforts you in the knowledge, or not the knowledge, I suppose. Maybe it comforts you in me just saying, you know, if you've missed the long, literally it doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. I know some people get depressed. They get like, people really get up about it. You know, people are going to be sweating, sleepless nights. Why did I close my long so early? I'm so stupid for closing my long. Or I'm so stupid for shorting. Or I cannot believe I didn't long that retracement. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. What I have to just say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. If you miss the trade, as much as you might not want to believe it right now, or it's difficult to understand, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Why does it not matter? Because your best trade, the best trade of your life, is always ahead of you. It is always ahead of you. So you might think you've missed an amazing opportunity, but guess what? There is another amazing opportunity around the corner, ahead of you, in front of you, in the future. We cannot change the past, so there's no point in dwelling over the fact you missed the long or you closed your long too early. Yeah, that's done. That's done. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant now. If anything, it's a L for a lesson. That is a lesson that you've done there. The lesson could be, if you close your longs too early, take profit. Do not close the whole position. Let some run. Yeah? So instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm such an idiot for closing my longs, think to yourself, hey, this is a lesson that I have learned for the next trade. Yeah? That's the way I would approach it. There's no point in being depressed about things you cannot change. You know, use that energy positively. And use that energy to think, hey, I'm going to absolutely crush my next trade. And I promise you, there is another amazing trade around the corner. There is. The best trade is always ahead of you. Always is ahead of you. Yeah, I think I've done some amazing trades in my journey in trading. But guess what? I know for a fact for myself, my best trade is still ahead of me. And that's the exciting thing about trading. That really is why I shake in excitement, because I'm just thinking, wow, I have another absolutely amazing golden opportunity here. So yeah, there's no need to be upset. Let's just say that. So there we go. We've covered our next area. We've covered in this video so far the current level of resistance, which is the top of the CC, which we hit to the absolute dollar, by the way. Absolute dollar there. You might want to write this one down, I suppose, so you can have it noted. Current high CC, $49,178. That is on Bybit. Okay, that's only where I trade. I only trade Bybit. So yeah, we're currently rejecting from the top of the CC. We know our next major level of support, and well, I'm not necessarily going to call this a major level of resistance, to be honest with you, but we just know our next level above us, which is, of course, it is always going to be that psychological $50,000. So yeah, I'm not really this overly bothered by this $50,000. Obviously, I do know we have a daily before it. So high term time frame levels, you know, we got that daily 49,909. So there you go. We got a daily just before that key level of resistance. But nevertheless, I still think you want to be aware of the $50,000. Bit of pineapple. Somebody says Cardano is dumping. Somebody says Cardano is dumping. All I'm going to say, yeah, Cardano is dumping right now. I'm going to look at Cardano for 2 minutes here. And I'm going to say, my contender and champions, why are we dumping where we're dumping from on Cardano? What did I tell? I done a live stream this morning. Yeah, so this is my second live stream of the day. I've already done one live stream, which was for the members only. And I went through altcoins. And what were my exact words that was written in this morning's members live stream? It was Cardano is at the major resistance. And what was that? We had, I suppose I can just show this. We were coming into the major CC Fibonacci level and the weekly resistance. There you go. ADA coming into big resistance. This was a massive, massive, massive level weekly into the CC. Of course, we can never, ever, ever, ever forget about that type of resistance level. So for the guy that saw in the corner of the eye ADA dumping, my friends, that is why when you come into resistances like this, they are very, very large. So look at that. That is the weekly touch to the absolute sat. And a pullback of nearly 7%. That's crazy, no? That is a pullback of nearly 7% from the weekly to the absolute sat. That is just insanely amazing. See, that's why Cardano is pulling back. Oh yeah, I put this on Twitter earlier. And this is one where I can also say because Cardano, this is from 2020. I was calling Cardano accumulation via the accumulation schematic back in 2020. And obviously since this accumulation schematic, which went exactly as predicted, by the way, Cardano rose 1,000%. 1,000% with no leverage. Literally from the schematic low to its current high is 1,000%. So this is what I mean by the opportunities that are coming. Obviously in today's members live stream, I recognize 2 more altcoins which are in accumulation schematics. So of course the opportunities, your best traders ahead of you. These are the sort of things you look for. Look for the really good high probability trades. And they're coming. They are coming with my little praying back there. And how well did Cardano turn out? Well, I think better than anybody ever imagined, to be honest with you. That was insane. But yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. You know, look for those sorts of, oh, wow, this is pulling back hard. It's good. Everything is pulling back pretty well. Look at this. Ethereum dumping off the face of the earth. EOS dumping. XRP dumping. Cardano is getting absolutely wrecked. Sushi is getting absolutely wrecked. Oh my. Yeah, the altcoins are dumping very, very, very hard. Apart from Algo and DOT. Funny. But pretty much all the rest. I mean, look at this. XRP is just pulled back here. 4%. I mean, Cardano is getting the most wrecked. But then Cardano actually had a legit reason to pull back like it did. So I don't think I'm surprised about Cardano being the biggest drop, to be honest with you. But yeah, there you go. Cardano is the biggest drop so far. Yeah, so that is kind of my there you go. That's my current thoughts then on the Bitcoin market. That we're obviously up at the top of the CC at the moment. This is never a place where one, in my opinion, would look to long. You know, you got to be pretty dumb to long here. Well, I don't want to say that because people always, you know, let's just say you got to be pretty inexperienced, I suppose, to long into such a resistance. Your first, in my opinion, major level of support here has to be into this point of control. Again, it can just be a pit stop for a move to the downside, but I think we can all agree, if you understand technical analysis, this is a big level of support. If we lose it, well, we're back down to the lower daily. And then, yeah, above us, we have the daily and the key levels. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there you go. That's kind of my thought processes here, to be honest with you. Let's see how many people have joined our Bybit team. I hope we got 1,000. 979. Come on, my friends. We are so close. We are so close to 1,000. Now, this is what I was going to say earlier. So, Cole the Moon was the biggest team last year. So we need to beat him. We need to get more. We need to beat him. So he no longer has the bragging rights of the biggest team. And we can say that we are the biggest team. So he's catching up though quickly. But he obviously has nearly like 400,000 subscribers. We have a fraction of his subscribers. So if we get more people, man, that's pretty cool. And again, that link is... you can just come over to the Discord. Follow the instructions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, how do I post this? Yeah. And we go. So is there anything else? Remind me, is there anything else that I wanted to cover? I was obviously, oh yeah, talking about the low that was put in there. I've talked about the CC high that we're at. I've talked about the 50k potential short squeeze if we breach the CC. I've talked about our next level of support. I think I've talked about pretty much everything. If there's any. So this is annoying when it does this. I cannot. I have been stalking your Instagram posts. Cheers, mate. I was wondering, how do you trade when you are traveling? You bring a laptop and also an extra screen, etc. Good question. Let's remind everybody, the real Instagram account is obviously Chart Champions, spelt correctly, no spelling mistakes. And so, yeah, really cool question, actually. I like those sort of questions. When I travel, I will only bring a laptop, a wireless mouse, because I cannot trade with a mouse built into a laptop. No way. And that's pretty much it. So no, I do not take an extra screen. No, just a laptop and a mouse. That's literally it. And I like to use a USB-C charger, so I don't have to carry around a power brick. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we've done some pretty good travels. And shout out to the next CC meetup. That's going to be pretty epic. Oh yeah, that's another way to know, like, if this is the real profile or not. Like, click on one of the photos and you'll see this photo was from 2017, and all the scammers are from every photo uploaded in 2021. So you have to think they have literally copied all of the photos and uploaded them days ago to scam people, whereas my photos are actually from when they were taken. There you go. That's an epic photo. Top of Machu Picchu, actually Huayna Picchu, which is even bigger than Machu Picchu. But yeah, that's what I do. Just carry around a laptop and a mouse. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Now this guy just says nothing. So thank you for the DKK, which is some lovely. Oh, that's not Poundster. Danish krone. Thank you for those Danish krones, my friend. Absolutely appreciated. I hope that you have enjoyed the content of this evening. Yeah, and I hopefully you are now aware of the next level of support and resistance. Obviously, currently at the CC at the moment. Should we breach this, we got our key 50k. Then we've obviously got the higher CC above us there. We obviously have our point of control there and the CC below. Lower daily, should we break through that? And I think this is the thing that you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen. I will end you with this words of wisdom. You do not need to know where price is going to make money. And this always gets people confused. You do not need to know where price is going to make money. We do not need to know if price is going up or down. All we need to know are the levels to the upside that we would trade and the levels to the downside we would trade. Doesn't matter if it goes up or down. We just need to be ready to take the trade when it comes. So that's what we mean. It doesn't matter where price goes. If it goes up, if it goes down, that is totally irrelevant. All we need to know is where we're going to trade. So when people say, where is price going next? The answer is, it doesn't actually matter where price goes next. All that matters to me, or all that should matter to you as a trader, is the levels of your next trade. So you know your levels to the downside, you know your levels to the upside. And that's literally all you need to know. That's all you need to be aware of. So yeah, I will say thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining me this evening. Hope you've enjoyed. And yeah, thank you. Remember to absolutely smash your likes on the way out. Smash the like button. Join the World Series of Trading team. Competition starts in a week. We're going to walk away with $6 million split between everybody. So there's literally no downsides of joining. You should just literally join. And yeah, I suppose that's it then. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed. And of course, I will say this, if you want to see more, then obviously I do for the champions live streams where you get sort of setups like this. I mean, that was a golden platter. And obviously for the contenders, if you want to learn about reading the order flow, if you want to learn about knowing how to read order flow, you want to know about the CC levels, how to mark daily levels, weekly levels, this is all obviously covered in the contenders. That's chartchampions.com. So yeah, there's a lot more should you want it. That's obviously on the website. If you don't want more, then hey, that's cool as well. So all I will say, thank you ever so much. Have a brilliant evening. And that's me signing out. Goodbye, everybody. Have a brilliant evening. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.